Hey, it's WWM with the meta, and today we're going to go over the new Frozen characters they just dropped. Right now we have Sven and Kristoff, and we got this little nice thing in our mail saying that they are going to be available. Sven is going to be on the Grand Arena 3B, and Kristoff is going to be on the villains and the heroes, which is interesting because he officially is the first it's a hero on a villain, it's a hero on a heroes, because usually the heroes unlock the villains and the villains unlock the heroes. So he is actually breaking the mold on this, which is a first for a character. I don't think it means anything. The fact that we can farm him from two different places is great. Kristoff is going to be the purple energy, so he's going to be an easy farm. By the end of this event, I am going to unlock both of these guys at 7-star. I'm going to give them up to Gear 6 is where I'm at, and we can truly test them out. I am not a big fan of Kristoff. If you don't stay until the end of the video, I would say that Sven, the reindeer, is the better bet. All the way around. Kristoff is an interesting tank and he buffs your characters, but I think he's a tad bit slow for the meta. And Sven could be interesting because of his massive basic, which by my math, I think he can get up to 7 or 8k on his basic with a critical and an offense up, which is crazy, especially since his kit says that he can assist every 20% of the time, so 1 out of every 5. It's not bad. It's not bad. So let's go over their kits here. First, we're going to look at their speed. In any turn-based game like this, speed is key, and it's one of the big stats that we look at. So with the reindeer Sven, he is at 100 with no gear, so he's in line with a lot of support characters. I am hoping that with a little upgrade, he gets up a little higher. Maybe where he's 107 in line with... So it's going to be interesting where they cap out. It's hard to say where their baseline is, especially with these new characters. They're kind of breaking the mold. I know that Dash ended up getting just crazy. He's maxed at 138, which is the fastest character in the game, and he started out at the same as this. I think it was 112 where he started. So because of his the certain gear that he got, he ended up getting a massive bonus. And the same thing that happens with Hades. And it's why Hades is so good and why you see him in-game and why he's meta is because he's so fast. His cap is like 132. He is one of the best characters in the game by far. So the other one here is Kristoff. And sadly, right now, Kristoff is at 90, which is a tad bit slow. I would love to see him a little higher. As a tank, it's where you would expect him to be. And his kit allows for a little speed, but he has to have a turn in order to do it. It'd be interesting to see exactly what the AI does with these two kits. Very interesting. I am going to say offhand, these two are the B characters for the event. It's why they're farmable starting out, which I love. I love farmable characters. It's great for free to play, and I like to see that aspect. I am guessing because we have some screenshots of Elsa, and she unlocks at 147 or 145. So she is probably going to be, as you would expect, the A character in this game, maybe an S tier character. She might even be SS, depending on how fast she is. So I don't have her kit. I only have these two. So let's go over these really quickly. So Sven, his basic is interesting. His extra 20% damage per each helpful effect. I think this could be rad, and I would love to maximize. He's assisting. He's getting that extra critical chance damage. So there's two things. There's critical chance, right? If they can hit. And then there's, if they do hit, what is the damage, extra damage that they would do? And the baseline is 150. It changes per, some characters get up to 160. So with his second ability on a basic, if he hits a critical on his basic, he's going to get an extra 20% on that critical damage. So it's going to be 170, which is good. And then as we see in a lot of these, almost every kit, the big damage. They just kind of do this extra 50% damage when you cap it out. There is no omegas on this, which is great. Save a little bit on there. The carrot here, I love the critical damage increase. And then he gets extra 30% to get additional, so he'll get 2 of those. But I hate any sort of restore of health in this game. It's so pitiful. It's not worth it. The fact that he has that with this and no turn meter gain, I would love to have seen like gain critical hit, do a little damage, and a little turn meter gain. But the fact that this is a wasted skill really puts a damper on this whole kit. It's going to be good when you play it, but it's going to be awful when the AI plays it. The fact that he just gets 2 critical 10, he doesn't even do an entire row, kind of like Robin Hood where he helps other people. If this was 2 random people, it would be a lot better. This is the worst skill, and it really takes away from his overall capabilities with AI on defense. All right, so the next we have here, this is amazing. So he gets an extra 20% per buff that he has. And then every single time a buff duration, any member loses a helpful effect. And now, we need to playtest this. Because does that count Diago, right? If they steal your effects, they are losing their helpful effects. Does that mean when you cap this out, it's 40%? Does he get a 40% chance to gain anything if anybody lost? Now that would include taunt, which is bad, but every buff. This could be pretty cool because he's going to stack all these buffs and then he's going to assist and do 7-8k on his basic. I don't know what the cap is there, but just if there's no cap on that, it's going to be high. His basic is at 50, which is a higher end for a normal basic damage. All right, so this is amazing. And then lastly, we have this passive, which is way better than Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse has a 10% chance to assist, and you can upgrade it to 15. So an extra 5, so 15. His base is 20. So 1 in 5, he's going to assist. And then if Kristoff is a character, then he guarantees to assist. I'm not a big fan of this naming other characters. You have to have them on a team. If you had true synergy, it would work. But a lot of times, the closest that we've had is the Incredibles team. But they're not meta. The team itself is not meta. It's good. But a picked apart, Dash and Mr. Incredible with Shan Yu can kill a full Mr. Incredible's team. We see it time and time again, especially with somebody like Hades or Zurg. They're just better characters than Violet or Elastigirl. They just are. Jack is questionable. I think Jack is a great character. He cost a lot. He was the most expensive character in the game. I am guessing that in this we could probably see Elsa as similar to Jack in price. 145 shard unlock, which I know that isn't everything, but it's a telltale sign that she is going to be up there in price. Makes sense. Everybody wants Elsa. All right, so next we're going to go into Kristoff. And Kristoff has a really interesting kit. He is slow, though. He's kind of there for tanks overall. He's at 90, which isn't bad. But he has a summons. His basic is what you would typically see. He's probably in line with somebody like Simba. He's good, but not the end-all be-all. His basic isn't as good as Simba's. Simba will reduce 30% turn meter on his basic. He's a tad bit faster than Simba, but not much. And I say this with a grain of salt because I don't know what their end speed is going to be at the very end when you have them gear 6. So we'll see where they're at. I am guessing he's probably going to be in line with somebody like the Manicore and Mordu in terms of speed, which I believe is 108 and 107 respectively. All right, so his his basic, he will inflict critical down on the opponent, which is probably one of the worst. 50% chance. And then Sven, if he's an ally, will assist, which is good. But the problem is, if you look at how the game transpires, right, you will hardly ever use the basic until at the end, where he's used his other two skills primarily. So it's kind of an in-game component, which I guess doesn't really matter that much. But the fact that he assists, just makes the skill almost unusable. Where Simba, at least you have, you could potentially not use his row attack or not use his taunt, and reduces somebody's turn meter to kind of get that turn advantage. You don't have that choice with Kristoff here. All right, so his next one, his special, this one he's allowed to, he summons a troll, which is good. I think summons is great for PvE. It works well with Scar, but unlike Scar, where Scar gets 2, he only gets 1. This one does mediocre damage. It has health that is the same as the summons with Scar, which is good. But the trolls seem to be healing for their damage and not doing damage. So that's a bummer. Healing in this game is so subpar that just doesn't equate to what the damage output can be on a normal character. So this is lost on me. This is a 2-turn cooldown, which is good. But again, that just really takes away from his basic, right? He's going to use his ultimate. He's going to use this, and then he's going to, or maybe use this first turn, his ultimate, and come back to this. So his basic is going to be used even less. His next skill is his taunt. So this is his best skill by far. It's 3 turns, which is fantastic, and it's going to create haste for support roles. Now, haste is phenomenal, but if you look at your characters, very, very few characters that are support role are any good. I could think of Barley from the Onward is probably the best support character, and he would obviously benefit greatly from a haste. Anybody would, but there isn't very many characters. The defense characters gain 72% shield, or 72 shield, which is awful. That's going to scale up just like Violet's, which means that it's useless. Offense gains crit guarantee. That, my friends, is amazing. That right there makes this guy, it makes you look at him a second time, especially somebody who might be slower than him, which there isn't very many, or somebody who has a second turn. A dash is probably going to go twice before him, which is crazy. But looking at that, maybe you could use Hades' second ability, which is the row, and then he could go, and then Hades could use his AoE ultimate and get a guaranteed crit. I don't know. But it's an interesting play. His last is his passive, and this could be really good. I wish... So what it says is, if another team member dies, which is great because it's anybody, it's not naming anybody, he cleanses all harmful effects on him only, which isn't very good, and he extends all useful attacks by 1, and he gains offense up by 2. So if he has a taunt, but here's the thing, if he had a taunt, nobody else would die for the most part. So it's not like you're increasing his taunt by anything. I mean, maybe if somebody used an AoE, then he's going to increase his taunt, but I'm guessing the taunt's not going to be there, so his useful effects probably won't be a taunt. So he's going to gain defense up, which is probably going to be useless, and then he heals, which is healing is awful, right? And then if Anna is in the battle, and Anna's the one who is defeated, then he's going to gain all of his magical abilities, which is wonderful, and he's going to increase his speed, which is wonderful. So if you are planning to play Anna, he could be beneficial, right? But the thing what you'll see is that you just kill him first before Anna, or you kill everybody else, and then you just don't go after Anna. I don't think we'll have to see what Anna's kit is, but I'm just not feeling it with him, And my benefit from him is that one of my characters has to die. That's not what you want. That's not what is beneficial when you're talking about the meta in the games like this. It just isn't going to be there. I can already sense it. He's a B character. And then that's it for him. All right. So I would say that, like at the beginning, Sven is better than Kristoff. Kristoff is a decent tank, but he just doesn't have that umph. He doesn't have any turn meter manipulation. He doesn't have a stun like Mordew that puts Mordew in a higher class by far. He's a decent character, but I think he's going to be too slow for the real meta and no real way to manipulate turn meter. All right. Thank you, guys. And as time goes on, click and subscribe. I'm going to get both these guys up to 5, Gear 5, Gear 6. And by the end of this event, they're both going to be Gear 7, just like everybody on with the Frozen. And we'll be able to truly test them out to see how good they are. So stay tuned. Thanks.